And we're live. Welcome to the OUYACast, episode 34, recorded on Sunday, October 19th, 2014. Your weekly source for latest news, games, and hacks for OUYAns everywhere. I'm Brandon from OuyaCentralTV.
And I'm Steve from OUYABrew.com. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 34. Sorry we got off to a little bit of a late start here today. Technology is wonderful. So thank you for hanging in there and joining us still.
Oh, yeah. So, we got a
very special guest developer.
Yeah, so a guest developer that we've been trying to get on the show since we first started this podcast.
Right, we finally did it.
Yes, we did. We got James Gamble coming.
James Gamble.
Say hello, and we'll get on to some Ouya news, and then we'll get on to the interview with him.
Hi, James.
Hello.
So it's really him, okay? We're not faking this up or nothing like that.
The true test will come when we start asking questions, because we can get anybody to fake it, but he'll have hopefully some intimate knowledge of his work that we can talk to him about.
Right. Well, first,
what do we got in the news today, sir?
We got some. We got only one sale this week. Super Pixalo by our good buddy Phil Royer is 20% off until October 21st. And that is gonna be, I'm not too sure how much it is, but I think it might be like $3.99, something like that. So that's a good game to pick up. That's on sale. And also on the 21st of October, the new release of Reagan Gorbachev is coming out by Team 2-Bit.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. We're waiting for that game to come out, and it's an Ouya exclusive, so that's cool.
While I'm just thinking about it here, this absolutely annoys me to no end that if you bought a game already, that you can't see what the price is. I hate that, because sometimes we'll buy games, and we'll want to play it, but then we try to do how we're just doing here and say, it's on sale, here's how much it is, but we can't find out anywhere the price for it. And there are a couple websites that try to get the price down for you, but it's not really reliable. Even Ouya themselves don't have a list, as far as I know, of where the prices are. So
right.
Ouya fixed that for us. Thank you very much. And also, it'd also be nice, while I'm on my little mini rant here, and then I'll be done, is when you go into a game, and I know this is stupid, right? I know it is, but if you go into a game and you hit the home button, I would like to see what game it is I'm playing, because sometimes when I'm doing a review, I'm writing down, some thoughts about it. And I'm like, so in this game, and it's the game that I'm playing, the one with the guy and the sword. I'm like, I can't pull the name for nothing, so I have to exit the entire thing to go back and see what it is I'm playing.
You're talking about right here? Yeah.
It's there's nothing there that says you're playing Super Pixalo. There's nothing there that says, obviously you can see it because of the background image right now, but if you were in the game, it happened to me with Magic Rampage. I was playing that because I'm going to do a review for it, and I was like, this is kind of cool, and I'm just I'm writing my stuff down, and in this game, I just drew a blank, and I'm like, crap, so I got to go back out, but. So yeah, those are my two complaints.
Yeah, I think the price shows right there where it says purchased, and if you click on purchase, then it would pop up for you to purchase it, and then I think it would give you the name of the game.
Yeah, but if you've already purchased it, you can't see how much it is now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, who knows? Who knows? Because Ouya announced that they are coming up with an update, an OTA. This month, so we got 2 weeks left, right? Yeah, so we got 2 weeks left of this month, so who knows when it'll be. They got two weeks, and we're really highly anticipating that. They teased on Twitter, on YouTube, about what they're working on, and they showed us a little glimpse behind the curtain. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
They're such teases.
Oh yeah.
What else we got?
And Ouya listens to this podcast because, the other day, last week, Jared Yeager left a comment saying that Pierre Solar has a free-to-try demo now.
Really?
So that's cool. Yeah. And also Magnetic by Nature. has a the free to try option also. So
That
it's
is incredibly awesome. I'm really glad about Pierre Solar because that game is fantastic,
all right.
and I haven't really been pushing it a whole lot because I didn't want to, push a game that didn't even have a demo to play. But now that there is one, go play it because it is awesome.
Oh yeah. And then Ouya also announced that Bomb Squad is supposed to be having an update that will allow online multiplayer, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be cross-platform because right now it's the online features on the Google Play Store, and I noticed on the Ouya forums also people were talking about sideloading it on the Ouya, and it's pretty. I tried it out on my Android tablet, and it did say that like you can play, you know, multiplayer on your local network, and also if you did have like that port forwarding, you can like share your IP address and people could connect to your game. So that's something pretty. I think that game is it's up there, and you talked about it when you first tried it. You thought it was. You thought, you, that was funny experience that you said that you
Yeah,
thought it was
well, what it
already
was
one of
is
the best.
like, because Bomb Squad was one of the first games really out on the Ouya, so
Right.
I was just getting into the Ouya. I'd never really played it yet, and I was just kind of trying out all these games. And I live in a world where if you have multiplayer, it's online because that's where most of the multiplayer's at. So I join a game. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's like there's nobody here, and like I'm just sitting around thinking, okay, well, the Ouya is new, so maybe somebody will join me. It's like 5, 10 minutes later, it's like nope. So yeah, I kind of learned that it was only local multiplayer the hard way. But having an online multiplayer is fantastic. I think that is going to skyrocket that game
Right.
into a whole nother level because like I just got done saying, local multiplayer is kind of rough because not everybody has a group of people sitting around. So online multiplayer is definitely where it's at, and Bomb Squad is such a great game that it's going to do nothing but improve its already awesomeness by having that feature added.
Yeah. I mean, especially just the Ouyans that are on that have it on Ouya, but then adding like the people that have a Google Play. Also, but I'm not too sure if the Mac version of it is gonna have the online multiplayer. So there's even like twice or as many people that you can play with that. So anytime if someone gets on, it's not like there's nobody online to play with. There's a lot more uh diversity, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One other thing that I forgot to put in the notes, Def it has been recently updated, and if you're not familiar with that game, it is like it's like a tower defense type of game. We actually have plans next month to have the developer of the game on the podcast, so stay tuned for that. I believe it all added. I think it added some extra levels in the update. It doesn't really show here, but also I did notice that it has mod support. And you can download levels made by the community, and I know that's one feature that Ouya has been talking about doing, where different games like Duck Game, you can create like what is it a map,
Custom level.
yeah,
Yeah,
custom level, and you can share it. I guess they're gonna have some kind of like server where you can upload it to it, and then other people can download them and try them out.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if his update has anything to do with that, but that's cool to know that game has that feature, and that feature is coming to other games.
That's a really fun game too. It's tower defense, but very minimal. If you haven't played it, it's just dots, but it's a lot of fun to play.
All right. And I think that's pretty much it for the updates this week. As you know, that Ouya Central has a $10 giveaway, so go ahead and head over there and post a comment and be entered into that. Also, I have a $5 code that I'm going to give away, but I'm actually going to post it on OuyaCentralTV, and if you can find it, you can redeem it. So it's going to be on there, and if nobody finds it, then I'm going to redeem it. So go to Ouya Central, and it's not on there yet. It'll be there by the end of the podcast, and you can look for that and redeem that $5 code. So
I'm gonna find it.
you gotta seek and find.
I will find it.
And then, do you want to talk about that other app?
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
There's a developer that's creating like an alternative launcher called Booty Call. It's got an awkward name to it, but it's kind of cool. It's similar to what's that one?
Auto boot or
Yeah,
autopilot slash boot.
right. It's similar to those apps, but it's supposed to do something.
It's supposed to
I
make your
read.
XBMC your default launcher, and then you could use XBMC to launch your games and your emulators and stuff like that.
Right, and then if you like close that application or that app, yeah, and you go back instead of going back to like the Ouya launcher, you can actually set it to go to something else that you wanted to go to instead of, so say if you had the Google Play Store, you can have it go to the Google Play Store after closing the other applications, I believe.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, I'm waiting for that. I contacted him trying to find out, well, can we find it? Where can we get it? Is it going to be officially on the Ouya? I believe he mentioned, I saw in a post something about that he's waiting for the next update to come out so he can make sure it works on that. So that's cool. So
I would be really interested to see if Ouya will let you put in a different kind of launcher in their store, because like they have XBMC which you can launch from, but that's really not its sole purpose. So that'd be kind of interesting to see if they'll allow that.
right, if you go to that link on the bottom of the show notes, if you go to the Ouya devs.ouya.tv, the developers docs,
Hmm.
I noticed on there they have APIs, and they have a custom launcher API, and
Interesting.
uh, I don't know what any of that means, but I think there might be a lot, trying to figure out how to allow people to make custom launchers. So that's good to know. I mean,
Heck yeah.
I know there's quite a few. You posted recently about Baxi, the custom
Yeah.
launcher. Then we had Cohen Hacking that he's working on one made with Unity.
Hmm.
So this might be some kind of help to them, maybe. I don't know.
We'll find out shortly.
Oh yeah.
Before we get to our interview, let's get an official game tally because we're getting close, man.
Oh
I can
yeah.
feel it. What are we at? I'm gonna check the official counter. One sec. It's going, it's going, it's going, and it still says 959 games.
959. Oh, I thought you were talking about the our buddy here.
Oh no, well we're gonna talk about all his games in just one hot second. I was looking for the total count,
Yeah.
but go ahead and lead us on in there because I got the total count now. 959. We're getting close to 1,000, which we're hoping to hit by the end of the year.
Yes. Yeah. I believe. Yeah. Definitely. Without a doubt, I believe we would do it. Or not us, but the developers. Well, you're adding to it. Will your game be out by then?
Um, I'm really
Hopefully.
hoping so. I'm really kind of not sure whether or not I'm gonna wait till it's 100% complete or try to get like a partial build in there, like an alpha beta, something like that. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I tried it out earlier today, and I saw that you added like some of the dialogue in between the levels. It was
Yeah,
kind of
it's
cool.
actually gotten even a lot better since there. We've gotten a couple people who have gotten on board, provided some awesome graphics to help out. They provided some awesome voiceover work, things like that. So, yeah, I can't wait to release the next building. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So yeah, I'm trying to find a game and I can't find one of his, but I'm gonna pull up my favorite one, Space Popcorn.
Space popcorn.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have JNK with us, a Games a Week guy. His name is James Gamble. James, how we doing?
Fine.
This is awesome. We finally got you on here to
It
talk
took a
about
while.
all of. Oh yeah,
Took a
we
long
dig it.
while. So for those of you who don't know, he is responsible for, I think it is 38 of Ouya's titles. Um, he does the AGameAWeek.com website, so uh, you essentially, and I'm sure it's not actually a game a week because that's just ludicrous and crazy, but I assume that you put these out pretty quickly, and it looks like you have a recurring theme with a lot of them. So give us a little bit of background about the games that you have on Ouya, and we'll go from there.
The ones on Ouya at the minute are just as they are, a game a week. I started a long time ago doing weekly games, and as you carry on making them, you get better and better. So the games that are on there now are like the best of the best that I've done so far.
That's awesome. So I noticed just looking at your games, and I'm going to run down a few here just kind of chronologically from your archive site here. So you have Plat Dude in a bit of a spin, or a bit of a spin, Monkey Blocks, Plat Dude and Swamp Golf, Space Rocket Adventures. So it seems like you use a lot of this, your main character there in a lot of these
Um,
games. Looks like you have Plat Dude and Go Kart.
as you build up weekly games, you just get used to the characters. You start to fall in love with all the different characters and keep reusing them because it's easier to do and it's quicker as well.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite one of your games?
Um, Out of all of them, probably Neon Plat. Neon Plat it's a kind of a warped platform game, but it's
Neon
all
Plat
set
Raw.
in one screen. Yeah, Neon Plat Extreme. It's
Okay.
it's
There
like
we
a
go.
classic Bubble Bobble kind of game, but set in a neon world.
So we know. So now we know you got Neon Play Extreme is your personal favorite. We obviously know that Space Popcorn is Brandon from Ouya Central's favorite. My personal favorite, the one that I have installed on my Ouya that I have never uninstalled, is J&K Bomber. I love that game.
Yep,
That's
it's
a that's one of the few that I did a review on the website too as well.
it's a good old-fashioned Bomberman clone.
I love it. Well, it's just those classic games are classic for a reason. It's because they're good, they're fun, So having that, re-envisioned with some different items and different characters, I think is always going to be fun.
Yeah.
So what do you use to build your titles with? What engine?
The language I use is called Monkey X. It's a cross-compiler language. It's very much like old school BASIC used to be. You basically just type your game in and then run it, and then you can run it on all sorts of different systems. So it's good for doing quick and easy little ports, which obviously works best with a game a week.
Right. So most of the games that you come out with, have you already like came out with the game and you're just porting it over to Ouya, or are they just fresh ideas that you're just coming up with an idea and just putting it on the Ouya?
Yeah, pretty much just as it happens. A
Okay.
game a week is literally unplanned. It's whatever is randomly in my head at the time.
Okay. So
Now, does it actually
what
take a
do we have?
week?
Yeah, it takes a week.
I know you
There's a
mentioned.
few games like the
Yeah.
J&K Bombers took a lot longer than a week, obviously.
Yeah.
But then most of that work was actually for the artificial intelligence. It was ridiculous the amount of time I spent working on that.
I was gonna say, but you said like I remember you mentioned before that sometimes games could take a couple days,
Yeah,
a couple hours. It depends, right?
it does. It depends on whether you want to stop working on the game as well. Sometimes you can make a game within a couple of hours, and it'll be fun to play, but you'll know that if you work on it a bit more, you get more levels and bigger adventures and things like that. So it's a case of learning when to stop, basically.
That's
Okay.
pretty neat. Do you do your own like graphics and sound effects and stuff, or do you have any friends or just work people or whoever that help you out with that?
Nope, it's just me.
Just you. So how do
Yep.
you make your graphics? You just do it like Photoshop or something, or
Recently, I've been using my iPad to do the graphics,
really?
simply because I can lie in bed and doodle a little sprite at night or something.
All right.
So yeah, there's a program called Sprite something on the iPad, and it's great for doing all sorts of little pixelized graphics and things.
Huh. That's pretty interesting. So I might have to get that because like that's my biggest problem is like I love making the game and all that, but as far as sprites go, I'm just so horrible at it, and it's kind of baffling that you can do all that. Um, when you say you just randomly come up with ideas, have you ever had anybody provide you with some ideas like, hey, I'd love to see this game, and then you've actually gone through and made it?
It sometimes works out, but other times it doesn't work out. Mostly it's a case of if I can actually manage to do the game in the short amount of time. Um, Most people who come up with ideas want bigger and better games that aren't really doable within the small week time space.
Kind of like us with our what was
Push
our
and pause.
Puss and Paws game.
Plus and pause, yeah.
Do you so okay, what I was thinking and the reason I asked is because there was a game when I was deciding what game I wanted to try to make for my first one that what I was going to try to do is make a clone of that old game Tapper. Do you remember that game?
I do, yeah.
That is a terrific game, and that one seems like it'd be really simple to do in a week too, because it's pretty basic, but a
Yeah,
lot of fun. Just an idea.
I'll write it down.
That's right.
There. It's jotted down for future reference.
That's right. See, I mean, I got to get mine in when I can. So is there any other like do you let me see how I can phrase this correctly. Aside from the type of game that you make, have you thought about going into learning something new, like say, like 3D modeling and things like that, or are you just really happy with the way this goes and this is the scale and the pace that you like to work with?
I've attempted 3D modeling in the past, but well, you've seen my 2D graphics.
They're very
So
nice.
if you can imagine that in 3D, it kind of looks okay, but it also really doesn't.
Well,
So
that's kind of cool though.
yeah, I have attempted 3D, but it works better in 2D. Other than that, there's things like networking that I haven't ever really attempted. I've never done an online game. I'd like to do that one day, but it's it's not really testable within the space of a week. You can't get somebody to play test 100 levels of your game online within the space of a week. It's hard to organise that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can imagine so. That would be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
guess once you got it down, you'd be pretty well set for any future games too.
yeah, once you've got the framework in place, it's easier to build upon that. But the initial work is just not doable within a week.
So when you and don't misread this because I love what you do, but when you make these games, how come you um, don't decide to charge for any of them or come up with like a charge version and a free version or something like a demo. I mean, what makes you say, hey, this is just what I want to give to the community, and here you go, have fun, kind of thing?
A lot of my games don't really work with demos. They're too small. You can't give away a 10-minute demo of a game that only lasts 10 minutes.
Well,
so yeah, I've always struggled with whether to charge for them in the first place or not, and I just decided not to. It's not worth doing it.
well, I for one am grateful. I mean, it's a lot of fun, It's just the old school style of gaming, and that's, I think, what a lot of Ouya is about is just bringing it back to when you were able to make a game and you didn't have to go be at a major publishing house or whatever, or a game company rather, and you could just write, like you said, write your game in DOS or whatever, and then you take it down and you make 100 copies of it and you sell it at Joe's computer shop or something, and you make your money. And that's pretty much the spirit that I think has been lost, and it's great to see that you're bringing it back with this kind of a deal where everybody can get to play these great games for free. So
yeah,
awesome.
Brandon,
yes, I'm having fun.
Focus. Got a job here.
I'm here to play games.
I know you are. See, he's not focused. He's just playing games.
He's just enjoying himself.
How long did it take you to come up with the AI for that?
Roughly about 2 weeks to do it all.
And where do you even start with something like that? Like, how do you?
It's all random. It's completely random. The player starts off running away from bombs, and then you add in things like which way should I go, roughly. It's very, very random.
Not towards it.
What about the shoes? What do the shoes do?
Speed up.
Okay, speed. Okay, and then the bombs. Don't you have bombs already? Oh.
Yeah, but you pick up more bombs.
Oh, you can pick up
drop
extra.
more at once.
Okay, I see that. Okay, and then the flame-looking guy. What does that one do?
It expands it out.
Yeah.
Okay, the explosion.
Go big.
Okay. All right. Okay, I see that. All right. And he killed himself.
Whoops. That's awesome.
The AI's, it's not perfect.
No, it's at least it's not so hard that they win every time. At least he's giving me a chance.
Yeah, that's the worst, is when the AI is just impeccable and there's nothing wrong with it, and it's just like
it's too perfect.
Yeah. That's always bad. So when you're not playing, or when you're not making games rather, do you have a game that you prefer to play on a different system, or you just don't really play games, you just make them?
I recently got Smash Brothers for the 3DS.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's a fun game. It's the sort of game that I would love to make, but all my characters have really, really small limbs, but they don't fight very well.
Well, it's all about special powers then.
Yeah. But then I would have to make the special powers.
That's true. Oh yeah. If we can drag it out of you, are you working on anything currently that our listening audience might be privy to as a special treat for listening to this particular episode of OUYACast?
The big thing that I'm working on right now is the Advent calendar, which should be out by December the 1st. I hope it is anyway. I've written 5 games for it so far, and obviously hoping to get 25 in there. That's going to be a struggle over the next few weeks, but that's what I'm working on right now.
Wow, that's pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Are they going to be like holiday themed games, or just you're trying to make it so it's just a game a day kind of thing?
Yeah, just a game a day. If I make it too Christmassy specific, then it becomes a game you only play at Christmas.
That's
So
true.
I'm going to try and, yeah. If you think of the games that are in Future Classics, if you played that one,
Oh yeah.
the little tiny little games, it's going to be games like that. But yeah, hopefully I can get all 25 done in the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
Okay.
So the next question is, do you sleep?
Occasionally. Yeah, I sleep a lot actually. Far too much.
I don't see how, man, because that's a pretty impressive library. In fact, I haven't checked this, but I'm almost certain you have the top number of games on
Yeah,
the Ouya.
of course. Gotta be. Like even this game here, like there's this level, and then there's like all these other levels that you have to unlock. I mean, you have to surely try to click those coins to unlock the other levels, which is I just don't understand how you make all these levels. So,
That was over the course of a good month or so, though. It took me a while to make Spike Dislike.
okay.
It
So
started
like,
off with
all right, go
with
ahead.
one theme, and then I made the engine so that it would work easily with other engines, and just kind of built on top of it each week. It was
Okay.
a case of each week would be a new little theme until they were all done.
Cool. Do you have any games that actually like say you came out with something and then you added to it, or they're just pretty much once you submit it, that's it?
Yeah, it's pretty much once it's done, it's done. I
Okay.
find that if I go back and try to bulk up a game, that I can spend months and months doing that.
Way too much time, right?
As
Okay.
soon as you get too deep into a game, you lose track of doing a game a week, and I just enjoy doing a game a week.
Right.
What got you interested in game programming in the first place?
Boredom.
Boredom. Okay.
I
That
was a kid
explains it.
growing up in the 80s, and there was a computer sat there and a great big manual that told you how to do everything. And it was just a case of being bored enough to read the big manual.
That's how all the great things start, man. Boredom.
It is.
I'm kind of a similar situation when I was a kid. You know, we had like a Commodore 64 that hooked up to the TV, and it had, I think it was Basic A or GW Basic on it. And yeah, so I used to learn how to program just silly things on there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Waiting for you to die. Here you go. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
For our audio listeners who don't get the benefit of seeing the OUYACast, we're watching him try to jump.
Play Spike Dislike 2. That's another game that just has so many levels in it, and so many different. Like, it has like a basketball court theme one. I really like that one. Is that the one, or is it on the Spike Dislike, the first one? Let me see.
The basketball court's on both of them.
Okay, yeah, on the court.
Get it right, man. Oh, yeah, he died.
Yeah, it was bouncing way too fast for me.
That's pretty cool. So on your Ouya, what other Ouya titles are you or have you played or enjoyed on the Ouya itself?
I'm ashamed to say barely anything at all.
Really?
He's
Um,
too busy making games. What are you
I
talking
am. I'm
about?
far too busy making them. In between writing each game, you basically only get time to turn the Ouya on, test the game that you've written, and then turn it back off again. I've hardly played anything on the Ouya at all. But then I've also got a Wii U that I've hardly played on, and a PlayStation 3 that I've hardly played on. It's not good for gaming, a game a week.
I absolutely understand. I've got a very similar situation with Ouya Brew. It's like you get time to turn it on and do a review of a game or something, or check out an app or something, then you turn it right back off because
Yeah,
you got to keep on chugging along. So it's tough.
too much
Do
to
you,
do.
so you do this full time, right? You do have a day job, or is this your day job?
This is all I do.
Okay,
Wake up in the morning, code. Go to bed. Wake up in the morning, code again.
Yeah, pretty much.
that's cool.
I used to have a day job. It paid the bills. That was about it.
All right. All right. Can't can't think of anything else to ask you.
I've got plenty of stuff to ask, man. Go play your games.
um,
So I actually do have a question for you. So with games like J&K Bomber or games like Blockman that are very reminiscent of older classic games like how we were talking about, do you find that people really enjoy playing? Because I know I do. That they really enjoy playing these kind of reimaginations, if that's a word, of these classic games, or in your experience that people just kind of been like, yeah, that's cool, but the original's better.
Yeah, whenever I do a remake, I try not to make it a remake. I try to put a new spin on it or make it feel a bit different, just so that there is a difference between the two versions. And then that way, if you prefer the original, then you've still got the original to play.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah,
That's true. And it's so hard when you take something that's a loved classic and you put your own spin on it. It's either gonna be a great success or it's gonna fail. But it seems like everybody that we've talked to, especially, they love your library, and us included. It's just terrific to see a new game come out.
well, it's a case of learning what's bad in a game and trying to avoid the bad points more than it is trying to do the best job you can. You just try not to do the worst job that you can.
Yeah, that's some sound advice. So, looking at your website, jandk.com, at your systems, it looks like you've got these on just about every electronic system known to man. It looks like Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, Ouya, iPhone, HTML5, so websites, DS, Java, and Amiga, really?
Yeah, I've got a big drawer full of Amiga discs. I have to convert them one at a time. It takes a while. I've only bothered doing two so far. But yeah, old games that I wrote in the 90s are still just about working if you can get an Amiga emulator.
That's awesome. I'm looking at it right now. You have one of Star Trek Voyager, it looks like.
Yeah,
That is so cool. So when's that one coming?
it's very, very, very old. 97, I think, roughly. But my Amiga didn't have a clock in it, so I don't know when it was exactly.
Well, who could blame you? Janeway was hot,
Oh yeah.
Now she plays she plays that lady on the Orange is the New Black. You ever seen that show yet?
I've not watched it yet, no.
Oh my God, you gotta watch it just to see what she looks like now. It's crazy. She's scary looking.
I'll have to keep an eye out.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. I actually want to play that one now. I'm gonna go get an Amiga emulator.
Yeah, that's from like 20 years ago though, so it's not up to my current standard, put it that way.
So in the case where you take something like that and you port it over to a different system, I know you said you don't really like going back and beefing it up, but would you, if you were going to bring something like that over to like the Ouya or over to the iPhone or Android, would you make a few changes aside from the controls to kind of bring it up to today, or you think just leave it alone and see who plays it kind of thing?
Whenever I start a project, I always redo it from scratch. like Space Popcorn. I've got a
Yeah.
previous version of that on my website called Tiny Ass, which was Tiny Asteroid.
Nice.
But when I
Okay.
did it for the Ouya, I just restarted from scratch because it's easier to redo it from scratch for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
when you create these games, I assume, because I mean, yeah, you do it from scratch, but there's got to be some kind of like copy and paste here because you've basically done this work over and over again. That you're not just doing it from scratch every single time, because that would take twice as long if you've already got like the controls in place from this game. You can just put them over to this game, or am I just way off there?
The menu system, the framework, the high scores, scoreboards, things like that. That's all a single system that gets
Okay.
copy and pasted every time. So you'll notice all the menus look the same, and the pause menu looks the same, and things like that. But the actual games each week, I literally do just type them out each week because I've gotten quick at doing it through overdoing it. I've gotten better at just being able to quickly type in a tile map code or things like that. I can do it right off the
Wow,
bat. Yeah,
that's impressive.
it's more a case of repetition than anything.
I mean, I guess yeah, you just if you do
Okay.
something day in and day out, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying that it was like, oh, so most of these games are just remakes of other games that you made in the past,
Some are, some aren't.
right?
It's yeah, they're all over the place.
Okay. Some are okay. So they're not really necessary ports. They're just kind of remade for the Ouya.
Yeah,
In particular.
redone from scratch because sometimes you can think of a better way to do something. Um, I'm just trying to think of again with Space Popcorn.
Yeah.
The first time I did it with Tiny Ass, it was it was it was much more. The controls weren't quite right or something. It didn't feel as good as it should have. So when I redid it this time, I fixed up the controls first before doing anything else. That was the first thing to work on. Um, yeah, and then adding the little power up. They're not really power ups, but the collectible things. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty neat.
Like, so, like most of your games have like a physics to them. Like, trying to remember which one is it, where you gotta jump from like planet to planet.
Oh, Fat Dude in Space.
Oh yeah, and you squish the bugs, and then like if you jump up too high, then like the gravity from the other planet pulls you down. And then I heard that, and I haven't played this one yet, but I'm gonna play it right now. My little rescue helicopter, like once you get so many rescued in the chopper, like it gets, it gets the physics of the game. I guess the way the helicopter down, the more people you rescue, right?
It sounds like physics, but it's not physics. It's just a case of if more characters in helicopter, then go down a bit.
Okay, okay,
It, it's not really complicated physics in the slightest.
right, okay,
Simulated physics.
okay.
Yes, cheated physics.
Hey, it gives the same feel, look, so that's all that matters.
All right, that's awesome. Let's try that game out.
Do you ever think to yourself just one day, and hopefully it's no day soon, but you ever think to yourself just one day like you're just gonna be like, I'm done with this, not doing it anymore.
It does happen from time to time, but then you give it a couple of weeks and your mind starts going mad and you want to start doing it again. So yeah, I do take plenty of rest periods, but they don't last very long.
That's pretty cool. And you just so you just randomly come up with the ideas, huh? You just making breakfast one day and like, hey, I think I'll make a game about a helicopter rescuing people.
Yep.
Nice.
The helicopter one was just a bizarre idea I had about I can't remember what it was. I can't even remember what the initial thought was, but it was about the color scheme. I think was what started it. The idea of having a black character against a light background, because most of my games are the other way around. They're light characters against dark backgrounds. So I think I just wanted to do something a bit different for a change.
Huh, that's pretty cool. I definitely, what's funny is I've played probably about, I would say maybe 8 of your whole library, and I've never really played this one though, and I think I might have to download it because it looks like a lot of fun. I like the top bar style, how you have where it shows where everything's at, because it's kind of like a Defender.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was that what you were going for? Was that Defender type look thing there?
Yeah, it seemed obvious. Once I got the game going, it needed the bar.
Got to see where everything's at.
Yep.
That's cool.
And is there a backstory as to why these planes are trying to kill you from rescuing these poor people?
I'm sure there is.
I want intricate details. Don't know what it is.
Somewhere there'll be a storyline for these games, but I'm not the one making them up.
It happened with...
Get to the chopper.
No, we had a guy on who made one of the 100 Flappy Bird clones that are now on the Ouya.
Yeah.
It was the Flappy Plane, and he had no obviously story for it, and so I came up with the story that I told him. I said the story for your game is that you're a pilot that died, and that's your own personal hell, and the only way you can escape it is if you can get through all the the whatever it was that he has, the pillars or whatever. And I say, because that's about what it feels like sometimes playing those games. Like you're just trapped in hell, you can't get out. So
Yep, that sounds like a Flappy Bird.
yeah, it was fun for like the first 2 seconds, but it's kind of there's the infinite pipes, and it's just I've had my fill personally.
So, what made you want to bring all your start making a game for the Ouya every week?
It was there. It was easy enough to do.
Right.
With the language, with the Monkey X language, it was just a case of clicking on Ouya, and then the game would work on Ouya. So, yeah, it was just, it worked, so why not?
Right. And it's a lot cheaper to be on Ouya than on the other consoles, right?
It's cheaper, sure, yeah. But I don't know. Being able to have your game on your TV, that was the main thing.
Right. Okay.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Other than that, it's trying to get your PC hooked up to your TV or something like that. It doesn't work very well.
Right.
Well, terrific, man. I think, let me just check our time here, because I think we have, we're about 47 minutes. So my question, and this actually is for you, Brandon, is the code up yet? Because I'm trying to look for it. I don't see it.
You're going to make me do it right now, then.
Well, I mean, you said before the end of the podcast, and I'm like looking all over for it, and I don't see it.
You're over here interrupting me. I'm trying to play some games. I care less about this code. No, I'm joking.
Oh, so bad.
No, I'm working on it right as we speak. And I got his website up there, his Twitter handle. He's from the UK.
We'll forgive him for that.
Time zones.
So no, it was really awesome having you on. I mean, like you said at the beginning of our episode here, we've been trying to get you on for a long while, and what you contribute, even if it is as easy as just pushing a button and having an export, and it's not a huge deal to get it on here. Speaking for the Ouya community, we definitely appreciate you bringing your games to the Ouya. They're a lot of fun to play, and for one, I'm very happy to see that you're continuing to develop and hopefully we'll continue to develop for a while. So much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll be here for a while, I think.
yeah. If you ever need any ideas, just hit us up and we'll help you out.
Yeah.
Tapper.
Add them to the list.
Right.
That's right, man. I got ideas for days. I just don't have the ability to create them, but working on it. So
Yeah, we gotta come up with another game idea for him after he comes out with Tapper, of course.
but I got the next idea. It's amazing. So he's gonna have his Plat dude at the bottom of the screen, and then he's gonna have Ouya Brew and Ouya Central throwing podcast requests at him, and Plat dude's got to dodge them left and right until finally we hit him with one, and he has to come on the show. It's an amazing concept.
I'm actually writing this down.
Yeah.
He's like, hey.
Okay. Written down. Expect it in a week.
Nice. All right, Brandon. Now or never. It's time, man.
The time is now.
Did you get it?
I think so. No, I still gotta post it I gotta upload it.
Oh, just take us home.
I just gotta upload it. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Let me change the font.
And while you're doing that, for those of you who are not watching the podcast, if you want to check out J&K's games, you can actually play a lot of them on his website at GameAWeek.com. And you can reach him at J&K on Twitter. That's JAYENKAI. And he also performs every Saturday at the no. I was trying to think of something clever, but I couldn't in time.
That's funny. What was I gonna say? Yeah,
I have no idea.
if you listen to the OUYAcast and you don't have a Ouya, this right here, these games are the reason why buy a Ouya.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can play on a keyboard, but on a PC, but you need a controller in your hand and play these great games. All right, I think I'm almost there.
It's about time. I can only stall for so long, man.
So yeah, thanks for listening to the OUYAcast. So as soon as the OUYAcast is finished, I'll be posting it up. Okay, I'm not gonna do it right now.
Okay.
So I got it just about ready. Let me wrap this thing up. That's it for this week, and thank you, J&K, for joining us. We definitely will try to get you on here, sooner than later. But yeah,
We'll start asking now, so a year from now,
Yeah, you gotta come back on when you come out with another game. You gotta.
Till next week then.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, thanks again so much, and for all the great games that you contribute to the Ouya community, and yeah, just thank you. Awesome. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. You know how to get in touch with us. You can contact us on Twitter at OuyaCentralTV and at Ouya Brew. You can follow us on our websites also, OuyaCentral.tv, OuyaBrew.com. That's it for this week. Stay tuned for next week. You never know who we might have on the show. We might have Bob Mills, Jared Yeager, Julie Ehrman. Come on now, this is the OUYAcast. So